Hello everyone, good morning. Am I audible? Perfect. Okay, great guys. Okay, so we shall start with the session. Okay, right. So what have we discussed in the previous session, guys? What have we discussed in the previous session here? Okay, so can you see my screen? Is my screen visible to everyone? Right. Great, great, great. Okay. So yes, guys. Okay. So there was some issues. Yeah, no problem. Okay. So now here, sir, we are done with the basic concepts, sir. Variables, data types, operators, how do we execute it, the basic things, everything is done. So what are we going to learn in today's session, sir? We are going to talk about something called as conditional statements. Okay, so this is a very, very simple, easy, okay, and the most important topic. Okay, so for your logical thinking, if you want to be logically strong here, this topic will play a very, very important role here. Okay, this topic is going to play an important role. Okay, so therefore, let us try to understand this particular data here. Okay, so great. So what are conditional statements here? Conditional statements, whenever we talk about conditional statements, they are used to take some decision. Okay, it's telling conditional statements. Based on certain condition, I need to take some decision. That's the reason we call them as conditional statements. Okay, what are conditional statements? They are used to take some decision based on the condition specified. Meaning, if it is true, do something. If it is false, do something. Clear? Done. What are the different decision making statements do we have, sir? Okay, we have something called as simple if. Okay, then we have something called as if else. Then we have something called as if else if. And then we have something called as nested if. And finally, we have something called as switch statement. So these are the different conditional statements which we have with respect to Java here. Okay. So what are the different conditional statements here? Simple if, okay, if else if, nested if, and switch statement. So these are the different conditional statements which we have. Okay. Why do we use conditional statements? For decision making. Based on certain condition, we need to take some decision over here. Okay, for instance here, okay, so if you are driving, okay, if you are driving your car, okay, if you are driving your particular car here, okay, if there is fuel, okay, if there is fuel inside your car, okay, if there is fuel inside your car, you can successfully drive. If there is no fuel, you cannot drive. Okay. So this is what, based on the condition, you need to check. See guys, you are driving your car. Okay. If there is petrol or diesel available, if it is present, you can drive your car successfully. If petrol or diesel is not present, you cannot drive your car. Okay. It's like based on certain condition, you need to take some decision. If it is true, what am I supposed to do? If it is false, what am I supposed to do? Generally used for decision making. Whenever I talk about decision making, we always come across conditional statements. Decision making meaning conditional statements. Okay, now great. Now let us try to talk about the each and every aspect one by one, one by one, one by one. Let us try to talk about each and every aspect here. Okay. So now guys, okay, what is the first thing which we need to learn? Sir, the first thing which we need to learn is something called as simple if, sir. Okay. We need to learn something called as simple if. What is simple if here? What is simple if? So simple if meaning if the condition is true, only then I'm going to do something. If not, I will not get executed. For example, let me draw a flow chart, guys. Okay, let me draw a flow chart. so that you'll have better understanding about this topic here. Okay, so let me draw the flow chart here. Okay, so yeah, sorry, just a moment, guys. I'll draw it in a beautiful manner. This is start, this is end. Okay, and after that, I will have one condition. Okay, if that condition is true, you know, I have to execute some set of instructions. That's it. Okay, so this is all about my entire process. Okay, now, so just quickly understand. I will start my execution. Okay, now I will start the execution of my program. Then slowly, okay, I will check some condition. What will I do? I will check some condition. If that condition is true or false. If the condition is true, okay, what it is? Positive scenario. If it is true, I execute some set of instructions, then I am going to terminate it. Okay, so I'll write it as stop. Okay, start, execute, stop. What if the condition is false? If the condition is false, directly I am going to terminate it. Directly I am going to terminate it over here. If for the negative scenario, if it is false here. So this is how the executional flow will happen. Okay, I will start the execution. I check the condition. If it is true, I execute some set of instructions. Then I will terminate. If it is false, I will not execute anything. Directly I will terminate. Okay. So this is how the flowchart of simple if works. Simple if meaning if true, do something. If false, don't care. Okay. If it is false, don't do anything. Okay. So this is what we are supposed to understand when it comes to this entire process here. Okay. Now let us talk about the syntax. Sir, do we have any syntax, sir? Absolutely yes, guys. We have something called a syntax or the structure which we need to follow. Okay, sir. What is the syntax, sir? The syntax is if open parenthesis, close parenthesis. This brackets we call it as parenthesis in Java. And then open curly braces, close curly braces. This is the scope of the if condition. Okay, this is the scope of the if condition. And I have to give the condition over here. I have to give what? I have to give the condition over here. If the condition, if true, only then I have to execute this set of statements. If it is false, I don't execute at all. If true, whatever has been written in this scope here within this block has to get executed. If it is false, I don't care at all. Okay, so this is what we are supposed to understand when it comes to programming perspective. Clear? Understood? Great. Now let me try to develop a particular program here. Let me try to develop a particular program. Okay, sir. How shall we develop the program, sir? How shall we develop the program, sir? We all know the common perspective, right? How do we develop a Java program? Windows R. When I tell Windows R, the Run tab will appear and I am supposed to search for something called as Notepad. Okay, I'm supposed to search for something called as what? Notepad over here. Okay, now in order to build a Java program here, what are the steps and rules I have told you, right? Already I have briefed you about it, right? So rule number one. Sir, rule number one is to create a class, sir. Okay, let me create a class. Class name is simple if demo. Open curly braces and close curly braces. Okay, what is the class name? Simple if demo over here. And then in order to execute it, I should also have my main method. What is the syntax of main method? Public, then static, void, main, within parentheses. What am I supposed to give? String array of arguments. Open curly braces and close curly braces. Okay, so this is what we are supposed to understand. Okay, clear everyone with the process? Great. So now here, after this, right, for my understanding, let me try to write system.out.println here. Okay, So in order to print here, what is the print statement we have? System dot out dot println. Okay, we have system dot out dot println over here. Okay, so let me try to do this entire data as well. Okay, print ln, open parenthesis close, and within this I'll write it as start. Okay, the same thing I'm going to copy at the last, and I'm just going to write it as end over here. Okay, so this is what we have understood as of now here. Okay, so now here after this entire process, right? So now you need to answer it over here. Okay, you need to answer it over here. See, I'll tell int n equals to 5 here. Okay, I'm just giving a variable that is int n equals to 5. So now over here I check one condition. If n is lesser than or equal to 10, okay, what am I supposed to do here? So I will just write it as one block here. See, if open parenthesis close, I need to give some condition. I have given some condition. If the condition is true here, the control gets into the block here, and I have to execute a set of instructions. Okay, so what are the set of instructions over here? So I'll write system dot out dot println. I will just write it as, okay, n plus is lesser than or equal to 10 here. Okay, so that way I'm just concatenating it in a beautiful manner. Okay, this is my entire program, guys. Okay, it's a very simple Java program which I have written over here. Okay, so this is what we are supposed to understand. Okay, so yeah, thank you. This is println. Okay, so yeah, great. Thank you, Darshan. Okay, so yeah, so now we are done with this entire process. Okay, now what are we supposed to do here? Now what are we supposed to do with this respective aspect over here? Let me tell you here. Okay, let me tell you in a beautiful manner here. Okay, now I have to save my program, right? So I'll tell Control S. Okay, and it's asking me where do you want to save? On the desktop, I have a folder called as Java Programs. I open it over here, and class name and file name should be same. So if the class name is simple if demo, my file name will also be simple if demo.java and save as all files, and I'll tell save. So what have you done? You have developed a Java program and you have executed it, right? Now, sorry, you have saved it. You need to execute it, right? Where will you execute a Java program? Sir, on the command prompt. Very good. Okay. Windows are CMD. So we know how do we open our command prompt as well, right? Now, in order to execute it, okay, what are the steps we need to follow here? Okay, what are the steps we need to follow? Sir, first, you have to move to the directory. So I have to tell cd desktop. Okay, DESKTOP, cd desktop. Why? Because my Java program, the file is present in a folder called as Java programs on the desktop. So I have to move my control to the desktop first, right? So I tell cd desktop and then cd Java programs. Okay, so now after I move my control to the desktop and the Java programs, I need to compile it. So I will tell Java C, simple if demo.java. So the compilation will happen in a beautiful manner. Internally, the compilation will happen. Once the compilation is done, I need to interpret it. So look at the output what I get. Start 5 is lesser than or equal to 10 end. How sir, I will tell you, guys. Execution will always start from my main method, correct? Start will definitely get executed, right? What is the value of n? 5 is getting stored into n. Now I check the condition. If n lesser than or equal to 5, it means if 5 if okay, internally 5 is lesser than or equal to 10, yes, that means if true. Correct. No, this is what is happening internally. See, if 5 is lesser than or equal to 10, yes, if true, it has returned true. If true, whatever I have written in that block will get executed. So what have I written? pi is lesser than or equal to 10 because I'm concatenating. N plus meaning I'm concatenating and then end here. Got it? That's the reason I'm getting this respective output. What if I give it as 50? What if I give it as 50? See, when I compile it, okay, I compile my Java program in a beautiful manner and I'll also interpret it. When I compile and interpret, I get only start and end here now. Why? Simple, sir. Start, sir. N value is 50, sir. Is 50 lesser than or equal to 10? No. Sorry, no. So therefore, the if condition will not get executed and end will automatically get executed. So that's what I was trying to tell. If true, okay, only if the condition is true, I will execute the if block. If not, I would not execute it. Got the clarity? So this is what we are supposed to understand when it comes to, okay, the data here. Okay, so I'll just copy the output over here so that for sending purpose it will be very easy for me. Okay, so this is all about, okay, if condition. So what did we start the session with, guys? A lot of them joined us a bit late, right? Okay, so I'm just trying to talk about it. Okay, so we started the session with something called as conditional statements. Conditional statements meaning based on the condition I am taking some decision. Okay, it is used for decision making. So we have five types: simple if else, if else if, nested if, and switch. Simple if meaning only I'm concerned with the positive scenario, true scenario. If it is true, do something. That's it. I'm concerned only with the positive scenario. Okay, now next part. Second, second, look here. What is second, sir? Second is if else, meaning in the first instance here, I was concerned only with the positive scenario. If it is true, I was performing something, right? Now I have to, think in both perspectives. Okay, I have to think in both perspectives. So what I'll do, let me write down the flow chart. Okay, let me write down the flow chart so that it becomes easy. Okay, so let me draw the flow chart. This is start, this is end, then this is the condition, if it is true and if it is false. Right. Yeah, great guys. This is all about it. Okay, so how will we do, sir? I will start the execution. Okay, then I will check the condition. Okay, then what am I supposed to do here? I will check the condition. Okay, if the condition is true, okay, if the condition is true, I will execute some set of instructions, then I am going to terminate over here. This is positive scenario. What am I doing? Start, I check the condition. If the condition is true, I execute some set of instructions, then I'm going to terminate. If not, if the condition is false, I am going to execute another set of instructions. Okay, I'm going to execute what? Another set of instructions. False also, I will execute another set of instructions and then I am going to terminate. So I'm concerned with the positive scenario also as well as the negative scenario also. Okay, this is the advantage of if and else over here. Okay, so now let me try to write down the syntax here so that you will all understand in the beautiful manner here. Okay, syntax is if open parenthesis close, open curly braces close, and then I have to write else, open curly braces and close curly braces. This is called as if block. Okay, what do we call this as? We call it as if block. That is nothing but the true block. Okay, if block is nothing but the true block. This is called as the else block. Okay, this is called as what? Else block. Else block means it means false. Okay, now how do we understand it? Okay, I will tell you in a beautiful manner. Okay, so here I will write set of instructions. Okay, here also another set of instructions. Okay, this is all about it, guys. Okay, now see, simple. I'll explain it. Okay, I will explain it in a beautiful manner. See, if I check the condition, if the condition is true, if block will get executed. Whatever I've written here, this if block will get executed, and the else block is ignored, and the else block is ignored. Simultaneously, if the condition is false, if block is ignored, and the else block is executed. See, if the condition is true, if block. True means if block. And if the condition is false, else block. I will execute whatever is in the else block and then I'm going to terminate. If true, if block. If false, else block. That's it. Okay, this is what we have understood with respect to if and else. Okay, if true, if block. If false, else block. This is all about it. Can we see a couple of examples here so that you'll have the better clarity about this entire topic here, right? So now we will try to do it in a beautiful manner. Okay, sir. Now what we'll be doing, guys, we'll do it in Notepad, one more program. Okay, Windows R. Windows R, and I have to open something called as Notepad. Okay, Notepad I have opened in a beautiful manner. Okay, Notepad I have successfully opened here. Okay, now I have to develop a Java program, right? I have to develop a Java program. So I will write a class, okay, and the class name is, we will write it as if else demo, open curly braces and close curly braces. So this is the rule number one. I need to create a class. And guys, I have not told what is a class yet. Okay, have patience for it. You will understand what is a class later. Okay, and I'll also have my main method. Okay, public static void main within parenthesis. I have to write it as string array of arguments, open curly braces and close curly braces. So I have a class, I have my main method wherein the execution will always begin from. So I will have two variables, int a equals to 10 and I'll have one more variable as well, int b equals to 20. So I have two variables a and b over here. Okay. Now how will we write our if and else condition, guys? Simple, sir. If open parenthesis close and then open curly braces close. This is nothing but if true, if block will get executed. If it is false, what am I supposed to do? I have to write the else block over here. I have to write what? Else block. And I'll give the condition over here. If A is lesser than or equal to B. Okay, if this is true, that is when I will execute the if statement. So let me write it this data here. Okay, a plus, meaning I'm concatenating, the value of a will get interpreted, plus is lesser than or equal to plus b. I can concatenate like this also, guys. Okay, now it's all about our assumption and trying to derive the output here. Okay, and a is greater, a is, if it's not lesser than or equal to, it's obviously a is greater, greater than B. That's it. Okay, now we're done with the program. Okay, we're done with this entire program here. Okay, but let me save that program first. Let me save that program. Control, Control S, and I'll write it as if else demo. Okay, if else demo dot Java. So the class name and the file name should be same, and I have to always save the files as all files, and I'll tell save, right? So we have saved a Java program in a beautiful manner. Now guys, which block will get executed? Is it the if block or is it the else block? Okay, common sense, guys. You don't require rocket science for it. Okay, so A value is 10, B value is 20. If A lesser than or equal to B is 10, lesser than or equal to B 20, yes, true. So what happens? If block will get executed and the else block is ignored. So the output will be 10 is lesser than or equal to 20. Okay. In order to compile. Very good. Okay. So you are, you are answering it over here. Okay, so over here I do this, and now when I try to compile it, okay, so what is the program name? If else demo.java. I'm just modifying it. Okay, java c if else demo.java. I compile the program, and once the compilation is successful, I will interpret it as well. So did I get the output? 10 is lesser than or equal to 20? Yes. Okay. So there is one question. Sir, why are you using A plus, sir? Guys, A plus meaning, see, A value is 10. I am printing the A value. Okay. Plus meaning I am concatenating whatever string is there. Plus B meaning the value B will get interpreted. So it will be 10 plus meaning I'm concatenating, guys. Anything we concat with a string will behave as a string, right? So in order to concat this entire data sentence here, I'm making the plus. 10 is lesser than or equal to 20. So that while coding, I have to write it as A. The value 10 will get interpreted. Plus meaning concatenation. Okay, did we do it 2-3 days back? Concatenation. That is what we are supposed to understand. Okay, so this is what we are supposed to do. And even if I give 20 over here, which block? Again, if block. Why? Sir, 20 is lesser than or equal to 20? Yes. So A meaning 20. 20 is lesser than or equal to 20. So that will get interpreted over here. If you want, you can compile it once and then you can interpret it once as well. Did you get the output here? Yes. If you don't write this data, if you directly write it as that, see, if you write it as A is lesser than or equal to B, okay, you won't have fun over here. Okay, see, if I just directly interpret it, see, A is lesser than or equal to B. But what is A value? What is B value? I do not know it, right? So that way, I'm trying to concatenate in a beautiful manner. Okay, that's the reason I'm making use of this entire process here. I hope you got the output now. Okay, you understood it. Now, if I write it as, if I write it as 50, what will be the output? Is 50 lesser than or equal to 20? No, 50 is not lesser than or equal to 20. It's false. Directly the control comes to else block and else block will get executed. 50 is greater than 20. Okay, so I would get this expected output. Very good. So now when I compile it, see, compilation is done and I will interpret it also. Okay, I'm so sorry. I will interpret it also. Did we get the output? Yes, we got the expected output here. Okay, so this is how, guys, we are supposed to understand and execute the entire process here. Got the clarity? Can we do one more similar type of program here? Okay, so yeah, I just wanted you all to understand over here one logic here. Okay, sir, what logic, sir? I will tell you. I will tell you. Yeah. Okay, see here, what I'll do, I'll have one. Okay, see, if I write it as if true, okay, I can directly pass the control as well. So if block will get executed. So I'll write it as hi dinga. Okay, here I'll write it as by dinga. Okay, so the same thing I'll repeat it over here. Okay, so what am I trying to do? I will tell you here. Okay, I will tell you how it gets interpreted internally, sir. See, I hope everyone understood the first program, right? Everyone understood the first program. Okay, so what is the interpretation over here? Okay, A value is 50 and B value is 20. So I check the condition over here. Okay, is 50 lesser than or equal to 20? Okay, this is false. So it goes to the else block, and what happens? 50 is greater than 20, that will get interpreted. In the second scenario, okay, in the second scenario, look what am I trying to do? If true, it's like the condition is true. If true meaning if block will get executed and the else block will get ignored. So it's like if true. If true meaning if block will get executed, that is nothing but high dinga, and by dinga will get neglected. That will get, I mean, it won't get executed. Okay. So similarly, if false, if false meaning the condition is false. If false meaning what am I supposed to do? I have to execute the else block. If block is ignored and the else block gets executed. See, if you want to compile and check here, you can do it. First compile your Java program and then slowly you can interpret it as well. Okay, interpret it. Look at the output what you get here. 50 is greater than 20, then high dinga and then by dinga. Okay, so this is what we are supposed to understand. If true, if block. If false, else block. Aste, it's a very simple process which you need to understand over here. Got the clarity, guys? Any confusion, guys? Anyone? Any questions? Anyone? Let me know. Any questions? Guys, any questions? Are you all sleeping? No. Great. Perfect, guys. Very good. Very good. Very good. Okay. So we understood, okay, how do we work around with if and else, right? Don't we? I hope you all understood how do we work around with if and else here. Okay, sir. Very good, sir. Okay. Now, sir, can you write, okay, a program in order to check for multiple conditions? So we understood these things, no? We understood if and else here. What if I have multiple conditions to be checked here? So that is when I will make use of something called as if else if. Okay, what is the third statement which we need to understand? The third statement which we need to understand is if else if. See, simple if, only true scenario. If else, true and false scenario. What if I have multiple conditions to be checked, guys? That is when I will come across the third part. What is it? If else if. Okay. So I can check multiple conditions over here. Okay, now, sir, how, sir? Can you explain, sir? 101% I will explain. Okay. So if I have multiple conditions to be checked, I will always go for if else if. Okay. And let me directly give the syntax here first. Okay. Let me give you the syntax. Okay. First of all, why do we use if else if? To check multiple conditions. Multiple conditions. Okay, so let me give you the syntax over here so that you will understand this topic in a beautiful manner. Okay, see here, if open parenthesis close, open curly braces close, and then else if, okay, else if open parenthesis close, open curly braces close, and I can have one more else if, any number of else ifs. Okay, and optionally at the last I can have something called as else block as well. I can have what? Else block as well. Optionally at the last I can have else block. This is else block, if else, and this is nothing but the entire process here. So now within this I am trying to specify the conditions. Condition, condition, condition. Okay, na? Aste guys. Okay. So look at this process over here, look at this process. First, I check the condition. If condition, if this condition is true, I will execute the set of instructions. I will execute whatever is there in the if block, and the remaining blocks of code are ignored. Okay, remaining code is ignored. If it is false, if the condition is false, I will check the next condition, else if I check this condition. If it is true, I execute this. If it is false, I check the next condition. So one by one, I keep on checking the conditions here until it is true. If none of the conditions are true, I will automatically execute the else block here. Okay, I will automatically execute what? Else block here. Okay, I will give you one scenario. Okay, I will give you one particular scenario here. Okay, see. Okay, what is it, sir? What is it, sir? I will explain it here. Okay, see, if there are two numbers, okay, one lesser than two. So if I tell A and B, there are two numbers, guys, A, B, two variables A, B. So now here, A can be, okay, A, that is 1. 1 can be lesser than 2, or 2 can be greater than 1, or 2 can be equal to 2 here. So, sir, what are you trying to tell, sir? So, A can be either lesser than B, greater than B, or equal to B. So there are three possibilities. That is, a number can be either lesser than, or greater than, or equal to another number. Correct. So there are three possibilities. Correct. It might be lesser than, or it might be greater than, or it might be equal to. So there are multiple possibilities over here. So therefore, what am I supposed to do here? I am supposed to develop a program. Okay, now. So now what will I do over here? Very, very simple Java program. Look, how will I execute it on the notepad here? How will I execute it on the notepad here? Sir, open notepad, sir. How? Windows R. Windows R, I have to open the notepad. Okay, very good. I have successfully opened the notepad. Now, rule number one for developing a Java program. Sir, write a class, sir. Write a class. Very good. Class if else demo, if else if demo, right? Yeah, okay, if else if demo, open curly braces, close curly braces. Then, sir, next have main method, sir. Main method, very good. Public static void main, within parenthesis it is string array of arguments, open curly braces and close curly braces. Okay, so this is what we are supposed to understand over here. We have a class if else if demo, and we have our main method wherein the execution will begin from. Okay, now, so there are two variables. See, int a equals to 5 and int b equals to 10. Okay, int a equals to 5 and int b equals to 10. So how many possibilities are there? A can either be lesser than b, A can either be greater than b, or A can either be equal to b. So there are three possibilities. So if, open curly braces, close. So if A is lesser than b, what will I do here? I will make use of this statement, system.out.println. I want to print the A value. So A, I want to concat something, plus what? Is lesser than plus b. So I'm just trying to concat, guys. A is lesser than b, meaning 5 is lesser than 10. So it's getting concatenated in a beautiful way. If not, if it is not lesser than, then it should be greater than. Else if, I need to check one more condition. Else if, okay. So else if, okay, what am I supposed to do here? Okay, else if I am supposed to, write the entire process again. So I have to write it as A is greater than B. Okay, if A is greater than B, what am I supposed to do? Again, okay, I will write the same thing only. Okay, guys, I will copy paste it. Okay, is greater than, okay, is greater than, okay, B here. Okay, if A is not lesser than B, or A is not greater than B, obviously it has to be equal to B. So optionally I can have something called as else block. Okay, guys, even if I don't write else block, no, it will work fine. It will definitely work fine. Okay, it's not mandatory that you have to always write the else block. No, okay, else block, and directly write it as A is equal to B here. This is all about it. Let me save the program. If else if demo.java and save as all files. Okay, and I'll tell save. Okay, so now here, this is, oh, let me copy paste the output over in the previous program. Okay, guys, I'm just copy pasting the output. Okay, don't worry about anything else. So it becomes easy later. Okay, done. Yeah, great. Okay, so now I need to compile my program, right? So I'll tell java c if else if demo.java. I will compile my program. Okay, After compiling, I have to interpret it as well. Okay, so how will I interpret it over here? So if, else if. Okay, can you see 5 is lesser than 10? I'm getting the output as what? 5 is lesser than 10 here. How? Sir, A value is 5, sir. B value is 10, sir. If, what is it? Internally it's like if 5 is lesser than 10. What does it mean? What does it get interpreted as? It will get interpreted as if true, correct? If true. If true meaning if block will get executed. So what is the job of if block? 5 is lesser than 10. Clear? Now, if I give it as 50, if I give it as 50, which block will get executed? Will the first block get executed? Second block get executed? Or the third block? Which block will get executed? Simple, sir. A value is 50, B value is 10. Is A, if A is lesser than B, is 50 lesser than 10 here? No, that is nothing but if false. False will get interpreted. If false, the if block is ignored. The if block is ignored. I need to check else if, meaning I need to check one more condition. So what is that one more condition over here? If I am checking is 50 greater than 10. Okay, is 50 greater than 10? Yes, it will get interpreted as true. If true, what will happen? If block will get executed. So the output will be 50 is greater than 10 here. Okay, so now when I interpret it, if I compile my program, okay, and if I interpret my program, did I get the output as 50 is greater than 10? Yes. Okay, now, can you tell me what will be the output of this program, guys? Wait. Yeah. Can you tell me what will be the output of this program? Think and tell me. Any idea? What will be the output of this program? Sir, A value is 10. B value is 10. Is 10 lesser than 10? False. I will check else. Is 10 greater than 10? False. Okay, even this is false here. So none of the case, I mean, conditions are true. When I compile my program and execute it, I will not get any output at all. I will not get any output. See, did I get any output here? No. Why? Sir, if it is lesser than, you have written some logic. If it is greater than, you have written some instructions. But what if it is equal to, sir? You have not at all written. That is the reason, optionally, I can have else. Common sense, no. If it is not lesser than, if it is not greater than, obviously it is equal to 10. So I will write it as A is equal to 10 here. Got the clarity here? Now what will get executed? Is A 10 lesser than 10? No. Is 10 greater than 10? No. Automatically else block will get executed and he will tell 10 is equal to 10 here. So now when I compile my program, see, compile every time. Okay, compile every time and interpret. Did I get the output? 10 is equal to 10. This is all about the entire process, guys. Okay, is there any confusion with respect to this here? Okay, what are decision state conditional statements? Sir, conditional statements means they are used to take some decision based on the condition whatever I have given. I have to I mean take some decision here. Conditional statements, it's telling, oh, there is some condition, based on that I need to take some decision. They are used for decision making. We are done with three types: only if else, if else if. Okay, only positive scenario, positive and negative scenario, and multiple scenarios. Got the clarity? Any confusion with respect to this here? Anyone having any confusion here? Okay, great. Anyone having any confusion, guys? Do you want me to repeat anything? No. Great, guys. Thank you. Thank you for your response. Okay. That's how, I mean, we keep the class lively. If you don't interact, you will either be sleeping on your bed, you'll be watching the video. I don't know how do you do it. But yeah, but that's how, if you keep on interacting, it becomes easy for me to understand. Okay, I shall go ahead with it. Okay. So that is what I just wanted to understand over here. Okay. So yeah, great. So now guys, we are done with these three things. Now we'll see a few logical questions here. Okay, few logical questions. Sir, what logical, sir? I will tell you, don't worry. Now we will do a program, okay, for marks validation. Okay, what is your program for? We will do a program for marks validation. Sir, what do you mean, sir? What do you mean by, sir? I'll tell you. So, if your marks, if your marks is between the range 81 to 100, okay, you will have to write the output as distinction. Okay, if your marks is between the range of 81 to 100, so it's nothing but you have, your grade is distinction. Next, if your grade is from 36, okay, to 36 to 80, okay, or else, oh, it's 35 is also passed, no? 35 to 80, so it's like first class. Okay, I'm just writing it as first class. Okay, and 0 to 34, it is fail. Obviously, no? It is 0 to 34, sorry, it is fail. Got the clarity here? If your marks is between the range 81 to 100, distinction. If it is from 35 to 80, first class. If it is from 0 to 34, fail. And apart from this, apart from see 0 to 100, I have some extinguishing. Okay. But if it is apart from lesser than 0 or greater than 100, okay, if it is lesser than 0 or greater than 100, you have to give it as invalid marks. Okay, you have to write it as invalid marks. So can we write a program for it? Yes, sir. 100%, sir. We can write. How? So all this while I was making use of Notepad. Okay, I was making use of Notepad. So we can make use of one more editor as well. That is Notepad++. Okay, I'll open that Notepad++ from now. Okay, because the UI gets comparatively better. Okay, that's the reason I'm making you something called as Notepad++. Okay, now here, what will I do over here? What will I do over here? Let me write a class. Class name is marks validation. Okay, and if you want, you can download the software. Okay, Notepad++ search. Go to the browser, search for Notepad++ download. Automatically, you can do it. Okay, it's a very easy process. Okay, and I'll have my main method wherein the execution starts from public static void main within parentheses string array of arguments here, open curly braces and close curly braces. So we have a class called as marks validation, and we have the main method. Okay, so wherein the execution starts from. Okay, so yeah guys, we have Chaitra here. Okay, just a moment guys. Chaitra, do you have any announcement here? Yeah, go ahead Chaitra. Okay, okay, Chaitra, I'll tell them. Okay. So one important note, guys. Guys, look here. Okay, we generally have three demo sessions. Trust me here, we generally have only three demo sessions. But for my batch, we have almost covered like 7 to 8 days. I'm not sure. Okay. So this is very, very difficult for the management to understand. Okay. So even we are employees. Okay, we are answerable to the management. Okay. So why? How come the student is attending even after three demo sessions? Why he or she hasn't paid the fees here? Okay, so they keep a lot of tracking over here. Okay, it's very, very important that they follow a standard. Okay, so try to make the payment as soon as possible by the end of the day. Okay, so try to pay, even if you're not able to pay completely, either installment. But if you pay in installments here, you have to pay the complete fees. Okay, you wouldn't have any discounts here. Okay, so that's very, very important. And try to pick the counselor's call, guys. Okay, if you don't pick here, how will they understand what are you going through, right? So if you have paid the fees, it's fine. If you have not paid the fees, how will they understand what are you going through, right? So you have to tell them, inform them, oh, what is the problem, what is the issue. At least they could help you out in some or the other way, right? So they are forcing you to pay the fees here. It's not that they are taking the money and putting in their pockets, right? So it's for the management. Okay, that's how the organization will run. Okay, they'll put the pressure on the employees in order to get it done, right? So that is what, I mean, 3 demo sessions it's already done. So make sure pay the fees as soon as possible by the end of the day. Okay, and if you have any doubts regarding anything, you want to share anything here, counselors are always available. Okay, you can contact them or contact me anytime. So we would get I mean come up with some solution here. Okay, great guys. Okay, Chaitra, you have any other announcement? Okay, great, Chaitra. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, guys. Okay. So make the payment as soon as possible because, I know difficulty levels. Okay. Who doesn't have difficulties? Who doesn't have problems? Everyone, right? But we have to think about our future as well, right? That's the reason here we are gathered here in order to learn. If you have made the payment, ignore it. If not, so yeah. Okay. Try to pay it as soon as possible. Okay. Now. Great. Okay, so we were talking about marks validation, right? So you can download that particular software, Notepad++. It's an easy software. Okay, you know how to download and install it, right? Don't we? Okay. So now we have done a class. We have our main method. Now let me save it. Let me save the program. Control S. So it's asking me, Uday, where do you want to save the file? I'll tell on the desktop here. Okay, on the desktop there is a small folder. Okay, there is a folder. Oh, where is that folder here? Yeah, over here. Java programs. I open it and the class name and file name should be same. .java. Extension is always .java and save as. Okay, there are so many options here. Obviously, you have to search for something called as Java source file. You will search for an option called as Java source file and you'll tell okay. That's it. Can you see? The UI is comparatively better. Okay. When you compare to Notepad here, this is comparatively better. Okay. So now here, let me try to do this program here. Okay. Now, so I have int. Int meaning we are trying to store a non-decimal numeric value and the variable name is marks. Okay. And what is the variable name? And the variable name is marks equals to the student has scored about 85 marks. Okay. And I have to, okay, write a logic for it. If what will be the logic? Any idea, guys? What am I supposed to do here? What will be the logic over here? So I have to print distinction. System.c. I get the prediction also. That's the reason here we make use of Notepad++ also. So here I will write it as distinction. Okay. And can you see this red here? Okay, red color over here. It means you have not yet saved your program. Control S will save it. Okay. So this is what we are supposed to understand. Can you tell me the logic over here, guys? See, for distinction, what is the data here? My marks has to be 81, 200. 81, 200. Okay. So what will I do here? Marks should be greater than or equal to 81. 81 and above 81 and how will you write and double ampersand, okay, logical, yesterday we did, right? And mark should be lesser than or equal to 100. So we are checking couple of conditions. Okay, so we have to write making use of chaining condition meaning multiple conditions we are checking. So if the marks is 85, 85 is greater than or equal to 81, true. And mark should be lesser than or equal to 100, meaning 85 is greater than or equal to 81 and it is lesser than or equal to 100. So it's between that range, right? So therefore it is distinction. What if it is different? Else if I have one more scenario over here, I have one more scenario. What is it? 35 and above, 80 and lesser. 35 and above 35, 80 and lesser. So how will I write the logic here? Sir, if the marks is greater than or equal to 35, it should be 35 or above 35 and lesser than or equal to 80. It should be 80 or lesser than 80. So what am I supposed to do here? I will write it as first class. Okay. If not, this condition is true, okay. If not, what is the other scenario? It should be greater than or equal to 0 and it should be lesser than or equal to 34. That is when I will write it as, okay, fail. Okay, I'll write, I'll tell fail. Okay, study well. Okay, study well. Okay, now study well here. That's it. Okay, one sad phase also. Okay, where is this? Oh yeah. Okay, sad face. Okay, that's it. Got the clarity over here, guys? What are we trying to do over here? Okay, now. So now, if it is 81 to 100, distinction. 35 to 80, first class. 0 to 34, fail. What if I get apart from that? If I get 99999 marks, if I get minus 9999, so I will have optionally one else condition. If none of the above conditions will satisfy, I will, directly execute this entire data. See, I'll get the prediction also. System dot out dot println. Okay, now that's why we make use of Notepad++. I'll tell invalid marks. Okay, now that's it. Okay, now. So now it's an easy program. Didn't you all understand? Don't you think so? It's very easy here. Yes, guys, it's very easy. You have to just understand the executional flow. Okay, how does the execution will happen? Once you understand here, understanding this entire process becomes very, very easy here. It becomes very, very easy here. Okay, now, now, what are we supposed to do here? Okay, we are done with this entire process, Alva. I will execute it. Okay, how will I execute it? Java C marks validation. Okay, marks validation dot Java. I will compile my program in a successful manner. After compiling, I have to interpret it. Can you see? I get it as distinction. Why? Sir, 85, sir. Is 85 greater than or equal to 81 and lesser than or equal to 100? Yes, it is distinction. What if I give it as 80? Is it distinction or first class? Sir, it's 80. Is 80 greater than or equal to 81? False. This is AND operator. AND meaning both the conditions should be true. So directly the control goes to the next block. Here it checks. Is 35 greater than, it's 80 greater than or equal to 35? True. And lesser than or equal to 80? Yes, it is first class. I'll get the output as FC. Okay, I'll definitely get the output as FC here. That is first class over here. Okay, now done. Right? Now what if I get it as, okay, what if I give it as 7? If I give it as 7, obviously it is fail, right? So see, is 7 greater than or equal to 81? No. Is 7 greater than or equal to 35? No. Is 7 greater than or equal to 0? Yes. And lesser than or equal to 34? Yes. Fail, study well. So that way, we have to analyze logical. Okay, it's all logical, guys. Okay, don't you think so? It's logical. Do you have to by heart this code? No, it's pure common sense here. You know how good you can analyze it and do it. Double ampersand represents and. I told you, right? If you want to log in, okay, user ID and password both should be successful. That is when your validation, login is successful. If not, it's not successful. What if I give it as minus here? Minus 7. Can any marks be minus 7? No. Is minus 7 greater than 81? No. Minus 7? No. Is minus 7? No. Automatically, else will get executed. It means if your marks is between the range 0 to 100, you have some solution. Okay, you have some data to be printed. If it is apart from that, if it's greater than 100 and lesser than 0, then you will execute some invalid data here. Okay, so this is how we are supposed to understand with, okay, conditional statements. Okay, conditional statements, and this is how we are supposed to understand the data here. Got it, guys? Everyone understood what is else if, and a lot of things. Even if you don't write this, it's fine. It will work. As I told you, writing else is optional. But what if what if none of the above conditions get executed? So I have to execute the else block now. So that's how it will get executed. Okay. So this is what we are supposed to understand. Correct? So now this is how we are supposed to find out a solution and try to do this entire process here. Got it? Great. Okay. So yeah, guys. Okay. So we are done with this entire process over here. Okay. So anyone having any confusion here? Please let me know. Any confusions, guys? Anyone? Right. Right. Very good. Okay. Now, majority of you, right? Okay, I'm not sure if you have installed the software or not. Okay, so please, okay, try to download, okay, and install the software here. Okay, try to download and install the software as soon as possible. Okay, so because I want hands-on experience, guys. Okay, you should have hands-on. Okay, hands-on experience. If you don't have hands-on experience, you'll become like a normal student, who just by hearts the things, who just studies the things here and try, I mean, you'll not be able to, I mean, replicate the same thing when in an interview. So that is what I'm trying to tell. Okay, study now, practice it. Only when you practice it, you will come across a lot of mistakes here. That is when you will not repeat the mistake in the interviews. If you don't practice it over here directly, you attend an interview, it becomes very difficult. Okay, so plan up accordingly over here. Okay, so this is what we are supposed to understand the data here. Got it, guys? So now here, as I told you, all the notes, everything I'm forwarding. If you have not received the link, okay, so please let me know. Drop me a message. I'll send you the link here. Okay, from that link, the notes, the soft copy, everything is there in that link. You open that link, you'll find everything. Okay, so everything you want extra apart from that here, let me know here. Okay, let me know over here. Okay, so great. So now here I have a couple of assignments. Okay, I have a couple of assignments here. Try doing it. Assignments is for your improvisation. Okay, logical improvisation. Sir, what assignment? Sir, first assignment. Okay, you have to check if a number is positive or negative. Okay, you know what is a positive number and you know what is a negative number, right? I want you all to write a program to check if a number is positive number or negative number. Okay, second, okay, I want, okay, you all to check if a number is even or odd. Okay, so you have to do me these two programs. Okay, and you can drop me. Okay, you can drop me to my mail ID. Okay, I'll send you my mail ID also. It's let me write it down. So if you want, you can. I forwarded in the WhatsApp group as well. It's Uday Pawar UDAYPAWAR 037 @gmail.com. Or you can WhatsApp me as well. Okay, anything is fine. Okay, I want the assignments to be done by you so that you will have hands-on experience. Okay, if you have not downloaded and installed, make sure, okay, try to download and install because it takes about 200 300 MB of your data. Okay, so two programs. Write a number to check if it's positive or negative, and write a Java program to check if a number is even or odd. So you can drop me a mail or you can send it to my WhatsApp number. Okay, as a text file or as a photo, whatever it is. Okay, but I want you to do. Okay, on your own, you have to do your program. Don't copy, don't try to Google, blah, 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 blah. Okay, try to do on your own. If at all it's not possible, I will explain you in the tomorrow session. Okay, so great guys. Okay, as I told you here, initially I'll be going a bit slow, but later once we get along with it, okay, once we have confirmed here, so later I'll go very fast. Okay, very fast in the sense moderate speed. How do we understand it? Clear? Great, guys. Okay, so anyone having any questions, let me know here. Any questions, anyone? Guys, any questions? Okay, great then. Okay, so yes, guys. Okay, so we shall wind up a session for today and we'll catch up tomorrow. Okay, so make sure go through whatever we did today. Okay, and come up with those two assignments here. Clear? Great, guys. Okay, so we'll wind up a session for today and catch up tomorrow. Okay, so thank you all. Take care. Bye bye.